On DC News Now, potential funding cuts for childcare. Why already sky-high costs could go up for families in the district.
We're still dealing with some scattered rain out there. We'll let you know when things are finally going to start to dry out.
And Key Bridge responders recognized.
If it happens, we're going to be there.
How Prince George's County is honoring them.
Plus, a championship race car taking a ride on the Potomac, where it's headed next in the district.
Spring is here, which means it's time to get out and stay active.
It focuses on that parent-child connection with bonding.
How One Local Mom is offering free fitness classes for the entire family. And thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 5. I'm Mark Hall.
And I'm Tosin Fakile. Annalisa Gale will join us a little later. We begin with breaking news out of the district. Police say a juvenile was shot at the Brooklyn Metro Station in Northeast.
Yeah, police are not revealing any other information on the victim right now, but we have a crew headed to the scene. WMATA says the trains are currently bypassing the station. Shuttles are being provided for other riders.
And police are looking for this person on your screen. The person was last seen wearing a black jacket over a black hoodie with a gray backpack, light blue jeans, and black and white shoes. Anyone with information is asked to call police. We will continue to follow this breaking news, both on air, online. We'll bring you the latest right here on DC News Now. 5:01 and new tonight, DC police are investigating after a man died from an electric bike crash in March. On March 27 at about 11 at night, 43-year-old Michael Goldstone and a woman were riding separate DC bike share ride electric bikes. Goldstone rode ahead of the woman near the intersection of 7th Street and Pennsylvania Avenue Northwest. Police said that is when the woman's electric bike collided with Goldstone's, causing him to fall to the ground and hit his head. He was taken to the hospital for treatment, where he later died on April 2nd.
Taking a live look outside right now at the Kennedy Center, and we had some cloudy skies and a little bit of rain earlier, but it looks like things are clearing up.
It does. Damon and I were talking about how the sun and the rain were doing a little bit of dance, sun and clouds. All right, but let's send things over to meteorologist Damon Matson to answer that question. Will we stay dry or wet for the weekend?
Yeah, talk about dueling conditions right there. Just on our live camera alone, you can still see the dark clouds off in the distance to the south and east. That's the rainfall that moved through, but there's sun breaking out again in the DC metro area. So that's just how quickly things are changing on a dime throughout the day here today. There's that main line, though, of rainfall that crossed the entire DMV over just a few hours span this afternoon. Most of us are now beginning to dry out, and there's not really a whole lot of activity behind that rainfall. And this is good news because today, for the most part, has been the driest we've been in a few days. All that rain we picked up Monday through Wednesday still has us with active flood warnings, primarily along the Potomac River, some of our other main stem rivers and streams here in the viewing area. These flood warnings will remain active until water levels get a chance to drop down over the next few days. It is unfortunately going to take some time here, and now that we kicked out that rainfall from a little earlier on, things are looking dry once again as we head into the overnight hours. Now, this is something else we're going to have to contend with coming up here over the next couple of days. The wind speeds, they picked up a little bit throughout the day today. We did have a pretty strong gust, 46 miles per hour at Reagan with that line of heavier rainfall just about a half an hour ago. That has moved on, thankfully enough, but we're still expecting some wind speeds upwards of 20 to 30 miles per hour here in the coming hours. And folks, on top of that, even some of our mountain locations dealing with more wintry weather out there. So things are interesting, folks. We're dealing with several different conditions, but when do things totally calm down again? We're going to have that answer in a full look at your forecast coming up here in just a bit.
All right, Damon, looking forward to it. Right now, D.C. is trying to balance its budget. And in doing that, the city is planning to cut funding for early childhood education programs.
It's certainly been a Tosin, and it could have big impacts on the 4,000 D.C. workers who rely on those programs to boost their wages, and the centers who employ them, and the parents who count on them to care for their children. DC News Now's Randy Bash joins us live in the newsroom, and she's breaking down the real cost of these cuts for families. Randy.
Yeah, many D.C. families already pay tens of thousands of dollars a year for childcare, and this new move could send those costs skyrocketing even higher. Families and workers at one child care center we stopped by today in Cathedral Heights already on high alert after hearing about DC's new cost-cutting measures.
DC has plans to cut funding to its Pay Equity Fund that makes sure early childhood educators are paid about the same as DCPS teachers. Mira Portes is an educator at CommuniKids in Cathedral Heights. She spoke with us through a translator.
It would be devastating to myself, and not just myself, but to the rest of the teachers who have been trying to keep up with inflation and trying to make ends meet.
For Portes, it's given her about a 25% boost in pay. And if DC doesn't fund the program anymore,
it would truly be something very difficult for all our families.
Daycare and preschool centers in the district will be on the hook to keep up with wages and pass on the cost to parents. Raul Echevarria is the co-founder and CEO of CommuniKids. He says the funding cuts are a gut punch.
If there is $500 million laying around to refurbish a sports arena, certainly we can make sure that there's some money out there to be able to really build our human infrastructure, which are our little children.
Pre-K programs at risk too. Parents we talked to worried about what it means for their children and grandchildren.
Well, I'm shocked and very disappointed because these programs are so rich with adventures and opportunities for the children. But I will be going to my council members to complain and to support these programs.
Yes, workers at CommuniKids and other daycares and preschools around DC are planning to spend tomorrow morning away from their centers and plan to rally for more funding for those programs. That rally is expected to bring hundreds of early childhood education workers to Samuel Gompers Park near the convention center. That rally is set for tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. In the newsroom, I'm Randy Bass, DC News Now.
Randy, thank you for bringing that important story to us. Developing now, pro-choice advocates are urging Governor Glenn Youngkin to sign bills establishing men and women's rights to contraception in the Commonwealth. About a dozen people, including lawmakers and advocates, marched from the General Assembly building to the governor's mansion today. With them, 37,000 signatures from Virginians calling on Governor Youngkin to establish rights to contraception in Virginia, including things like condoms, the pill, or IUDs. Virginians do have a right to contraception, but advocates are concerned that won't last for long.
Should this legislation be signed, as it must be signed by the governor, that we would be protecting the right to contraception in Virginia and doing so in the same way that we've already protected abortion access.
Virginia's governor already amended a bill having to deal with contraception to include stronger protections for those with sincerely held religious or moral beliefs. Now the governor has until Monday night to act on these bills.
First responders in Prince George's County are being honored today for their response in the Key Bridge collapse in Baltimore. DC News Now's Jean-Marie Sissay is at police headquarters with more.
Yeah, it was all hands on deck when the Baltimore Key Bridge collapsed, and that meant first responders from several jurisdictions, including Prince George's County, jumped in to help with recovery efforts, and now many of them are being recognized. The tragic bridge collapse that left the entire state in shock led first responders from across Maryland to jump in and help.
We don't necessarily have to have some mutual aid agreement or interlocal agreement. It's just that when our brothers and sisters call, then we answer.
Members of the Prince George's County Special Operation Division's Marine Unit and Underwater Recovery Team spent countless hours helping search for the 6 construction workers presumed dead after the bridge collapsed last Tuesday. Now these divers searched the Patapsco River and were finally able to recover the vehicle that had the bodies of 2 of the construction workers inside. Officials say the conditions were difficult.
It's extremely dangerous, especially with all the twisted metal, the roadway, and it's just something that you just got to go by feel.
On Thursday, they each were honored with the Chief's Award and the Unit Citation Award.
We're all pretty humbled. Like I said, it's what we do. It's what we train for. We know it's not something that's impossible. If it happens, we're going to be there. So, and we'll be there again for anything else.
The department will continue to assist with the investigation as the state tries to move forward from this tragic incident. For now, reporting in Upper Marlboro, Maryland, I'm Jean-Marie Sissay, DC News Now.
We have an update to a story we brought to you last month. Montgomery County Youth Rugby Club had thousands of dollars stolen from their bank account. Now, as they recover from that, they're looking forward to hosting their first Rugby Festival since the pandemic. The Maryland Exiles Youth Rugby Club will host the inaugural 3-day event Friday through Sunday at Maddie J.T. Park in Rockville. Organizers say rugby teams from Canada, Virginia, and Maryland will attend the festival. There'll also be lots to do for people who may be interested in learning more about that sport.
At noon on Saturday, really cool event, 100% free, open to the public. 5 and above, old folks, young folks, just a chance to come out and do kind of like an intro to rugby, and if they want, play a touch game afterwards. So it's just, bring your shorts, your tennis shoes, and a water bottle, and just kind of gives people a chance to see what rugby is.
Rugby is a fun game, I will say that. Several rugby matches will be played throughout the weekend, and a clinic with professional players will be held on Sunday.
Rugby is a grueling physical sport.
It is. It hurts. It hurts. There's not a lot of protection when you play.
Well, I'll tell you what, Tosin, if you saw a Formula One race car traveling up and down the Potomac River, your eyes weren't deceiving you.
That's right. And someone who saw it was our Leonard and Fleming. He caught up with the car, and he's live at Haynes Point this afternoon. And Leonard, talk about interesting view. What was that like?
Well, Mark and Tosin, it was quite the sight to see. Over to my left and behind me, a barge with a race car, a Formula One race car on it, and a police escort riding behind it. That was quite the sight today. Just like that, a Formula One race car was floating on the Potomac. It's to promote the Red Bull show run in D.C. on April 20th. It cruised by onlookers, some noticing the barge with a race car on it, and others fishing for the day along the banks of the river. Oracle Red Bull Racing put the 2023 championship-winning RB19 race car on a barge from Arlington Memorial Bridge and to the wharf and back for about 4 hours of viewing. Donald Rucker of Columbia, Maryland, was riding a bike ironically made by the same designers as the race car when he noticed the race car on the barge.
Riding my bike around Haynes Point, looked over and saw the Red Bull F1 car on a barge in the middle of the Potomac, and thought it was a weird coincidence that I happened to be on their brand new F1 Red Bull bike. So had to get a couple pictures. People wouldn't believe it if I told them. The coincidence is just the weirdest coincidence I could think of.
Interesting enough, many of these fishermen who were on the banks of this river, they didn't even notice the barge with the race car on it because they were so focused on their fishing duties today. Reporting from Haynes Point, Leonard and Fleming, DC News Now, back to you.